Attention, everybody. The views and opinions expressed on the show are not necessarily those of Acts Ministry, Acts Media Group, and or their affiliate and subordinate ministries and or nonprofits. Then we start the music, and they can hear the music.
We like music.
Learning new things is the subject for today. And then, go ahead and merge us over with the M there. Good morning! Coming to you live from Acts Media Group headquarters, here to beautiful Springfield, Missouri. It's the Morning Drive with Matt and Jay with your host, Matt and Jay. And Dennis Everson's here with us today.
Hey, Dennis.
Learning new things.
And we are.
Yeah, we are indeed. Jay, we are.
We are.
We are.
Is that what it is today, learning new things?
Learning new things, yeah.
What brought that to mind?
Well, because he's learning new things.
I'm learning new things.
Oh, right.
Now, backing this up here, I just fade this out with the player. Do it slowly so it's not as awkward. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Morning Drive with Matt and Jay. My name is Matt.
My name is Jay.
My name's Dennis.
I'm glad to have everybody on board with us today.
Is that mine or yours? Whose phone is on?
It was Dennis.
Was it? Wait. Yeah. Must have been.
So today's topic is learning new things. I'm teaching Dennis how to operate everything here. So.
Yeah, which I should have learned a long time ago, but.
Well, I need to make a binder with step-by-step instructions with pictures of me pointing to stuff. You know what I mean? So that way anybody can come in here with the computer at its base and go through it page by page and set everything up.
Steve says he learned something every man.
I think you meant minute.
Every day.
So he will be back with us on Monday, which
But then
we
he forgets it just as fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I actually one day you weren't here, and I had him. This is before I got this worked out to where we're doing Facebook and YouTube simultaneously on the one computer. I had him operate in your stead one day. I said, okay, so this is what you got to do. And he did it really well.
Yeah, he's amazing.
He looked really nervous. Now, he is now our...
Quick study.
Well, you know what's good, too, about having him is what I want to do is when I want to build a schoolie and be able to travel and all that and then and be away for more than a week at a time. And so what's great about that is that we'll have him here to take my place here in the studio. And then also, I can still join every day.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah, just because you're not here.
it's not a commitment I'm going to break. It's one I want to keep. This is part of my life.
Man, we're already up. He must have started himself a YouTube video, or YouTube. Watch party. Larry Melton, Stacy Wedeking.
Morning, Larry. I got to go get that Jeep. Oh,
I think he meant every day.
every day.
Yeah.
I
he
learned
did.
something every day, but he said, I learned something every man. That sounds like the lyrics to a really good song. I learned something every man should know. There you go.
There you go.
Hey, Sandy Bray. Jeremiah Humans.
You, Jeremiah. Good to see you, man.
Stacy Wedeking says, hi, guys.
I like a challenge.
I do, too, to a certain degree, yeah.
It's stressful, which is kind of an odd thing, isn't it?
Yeah, but when you
How
step
would you
back.
want to take on a stressful challenge and then and keep banging against
Jonathan
it?
Kretzman says,
I like
get out the
pushing
crayons.
myself to learn things. It's
Yeah,
You know,
it's difficult.
and
it's hard, but I still like it.
It's
somehow.
valuable, though. It's worthwhile, I think.
This is industry standard software here. So
Where's Matt at?
I am learning how to. There's so many things we can do with the software.
Right.
So many things. I need to start watching more videos because it's got that. Even vMix has a very, very large archive of videos on how to do stuff.
Yeah.
And then I got to take the time. If I had the time to sit here all day and learn this stuff,
We ought to crash course Monday and get me on here. I think I'm going to ask for Monday off, and I think Monday morning I should do the morning drive from Indiana. Either the land between the lakes or the Garden of the Gods.
well, we've done that where you were on the phone before, and I can put the video up here.
Right.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
But then you could also arrange it so that there's a tab or something to prepared for it, so that as I do it more, people
like-
like him can come in and know join.
Yeah,
or how to
people that
do it.
don't know anything.
That's
like
why I
me.
got to figure out the call deal, like how to do the video call, because I had it
Think
figured
we
out.
can do it Monday?
Well, I mean, we can try to figure it out. We'll have to.
My
figure
boss
it
gives
out.
it to me off, man. I'm out of here. Cloudy, 85 degrees.
Because you have to have good internet connection. Because we did that one day and you didn't have good internet connection.
That
so it
does
was like,
does make a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think I'll probably try to end up at the top of a mountain with the Garden of the Gods behind me. The land between the lakes is good because it's closer to my goal to see my sister in Georgia. If I can make it there and back in 3 days, I can make it to Georgia in 3 days.
Steve said that he will be. I meant to wear my coat, my sport coat.
Did you?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, because it fits me so well.
it fits
now.
him
It does
so well
fit,
now.
Fits so well.
Fits so well now.
Such a well-fitting thing.
I'm a little ADD today, and I apologize beforehand. But again, teaching somebody something new, I have no doubt that you could come in here and get everything fired up, without a doubt. It may take you a
I
second
have
to
to
remember.
watch along with him because I haven't done it in so long that I like when you said open to open the morning drive.
Yeah.
That had completely been absent from my mind. So to come in here and do that, I would not have been prepared this morning.
Well, what I can do is I can also set up a bunch of all
Links.
the presets on the front page. So all you have to do, you
On the
don't even have
desktop?
to open. Yeah, you
Yeah.
don't even have to open vMix. You can just click on whatever show it is.
Yeah.
And boom, it'll
And
open
that
up vMix
really
with all the
would
settings.
be helpful.
That's what I do for the Veterans Church.
Yeah.
Because I mean, let's face it, you got a few older gentlemen that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
Dad does
us
a great
older
job.
gentlemen don't.
Dad does a great job at managing it at night. Sometimes he calls,
Bravo to
times a-
vMix too
yeah.
for making it to where you can set it up like that for somebody who's not prepared and has a busy life and isn't really interested in learning technology, but is interesting in contributing to a show.
Well, yeah, and
Beautiful today, Steve.
Beautiful.
I felt real convicted about it too because it's like I'm willing to sacrifice and do some things and stuff, but I kind of sacrifice enough to be comfortable.
Yeah.
Comfortable in my sacrifice and my giving and stuff. And it's like, why don't I push a little more?
With a joyful heart.
Yeah, because it's important. It's important stuff. And it's
Yeah.
like, why do I hold back?
I mean, I if I had no debt at all, I would still have nothing. There is so much that I could do. I would just see so much more that I could do. I mean, we've got, like, the Crosswalk of Hope is such a great place to contribute because there's so much that they need, and
Yep.
there's so much potential to do so much good in so many different people's lives. It's such a great way to contribute.
Yeah.
It really is, and it's a blessing to have had. But it's also a struggle.
Sure.
And it's been really hard to be there and to try to move in any direction,
Yeah. Well, it's an awkward time and transition and everything. I mean, you think, the founder,
For everybody.
the main founder just being gone all of a sudden and
Yep.
unexpected. It's just,
Yeah.
it's tragic for everybody,
Yeah.
It's-
And Becky's doing so great. You should
Oh, yeah.
see how the store's coming along.
yeah.
If I get a refrigerator moved today, which the plan is, then I can rearrange the shelving I just built in the place that it's going to come to a final rest, and she can start stocking those shelves ready for a sale. I can start arranging furniture and appliances
Nice.
and get stuff moved out of the place where we need for the auto shop. And this could happen very quickly if I get that refrigerator. It's exciting. It's exciting to see. And then I can get my Jeep there to get worked on. I can do the maintenance on my motorcycle. There's a guy who has a van that needs to be transported. I thought I'd rent a truck and a trailer.
How
And
big
then-
is the refrigerator?
It's a small one. It's a fairly small. It's like a 20 cubic foot.
So I could go by Barney's and grab his two-wheeler and we could use it, right?
We have one.
Oh. Well, I don't need that. I don't,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the tires are good on it. I pumped them up 2 or 3 weeks ago, and they're still full.
We could go after the shows today, well, what time you have to be at work? 2?
Yep. I leave
Okay.
about 1.
Okay, and we'll be done here about 10:30. What is it? Yeah. We'll be done here at 10:30. I could just come on by. We'll just move it real quick for you.
I'm going to leave early, though, so I can go. I'm going to stop by the license bureau to see if I can quickly pay my taxes and get my new plate, because that's all I need to do to get my bike in my
Morning
name.
Pam Wine.
And then I can
Mike Crimper,
go break down a couple of tables.
health and wellness coach.
That's all I
Is
got.
there a show from 9 to 9:30 or what?
There is we're going to be playing pre-recorded shows. The Morning Mouth with John
Oh yeah, the
Messer,
Morning
Pastor
Mouth,
Matt.
right? Yeah.
And it used to be Randy Barr, but he has slid into a 1 hour slot that is opened up on Tuesdays in lieu of something to celebrate. And he's been passive aggressively suggesting that he get an hour since he started here. So
Who's
sometimes
been doing this?
Randy Barr.
Randy
Oh,
Barr.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he wanted to know.
You know, hey, you
He
know,
needs one when he has a guest,
He does,
especially
yeah.
because
Yeah.
he does such a great job introducing
Johnny Rooster,
the
welcome to
person.
the show.
Right.
He'll be coming
Yeah,
up next.
because he did that for years, or I don't know
I-
how long with the.
I don't know how he does it. I've been watching him and trying to incorporate that, but I'm still missing it. When I watch him interview somebody, it's such a beautiful thing to see how he introduces a person.
Yeah.
You know, it's not about a topic. It's not about, though all those things come out
Right.
beautifully, he introduces you to a person. And I like how he does it, and I wish I could do it better. I need to watch him and do it more. He wants me to be on his show, so I think when he has a guest, I'm going to stay and be on his show.
Yeah.
Because I need to learn that. And he is probably, I think he's the best I've seen at it.
Yeah, he does an excellent job.
Yeah, yeah. The guests I've seen him interview come out so beautifully on it.
Good skill set to have.
Yeah. And he does it so simply. I got to learn it.
He introduces them and then lets people get to know them and then says, okay, so now tell us about your walk with the Lord.
Yeah. But
And-
he has a way about him.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, he did it a lot longer than I don't know how many years he did it.
I think he did it for a few years, didn't he? With
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, when it comes to finding stuff to just randomly talk
Learning new
about,
things.
we're pretty good. We're pretty good at that. But remember when we were first starting to do this? Oh, man.
I do it well, but I'm more like a bull in a china shop.
No, no, you're more precise than a bull in a china shop.
Oh, more
Pulled a cord.
That's all right. You're okay. Here.
more like a baboon.
Who needs a power cord? Yeah.
I am, sort of, yeah.
Yeah, like because a baboon would
More like a
have
chimpanzee.
a goal in what he wanted to do. Or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what it is. Usually I have something I'm trying to get
Minus
to, an
the
agenda.
big red butt.
Yeah,
You know.
there's something shiny over here.
I do agenda-based
Yeah,
interviews, whereas Randy doesn't do that. There's something different about the way he does it, and I would prefer to change
Yeah,
it
or
and
for
do
the
it the way he does.
For the recordings yesterday, Johnny, and that's all I wore this for. So, yeah, I'm still rocking a red shirt. I've got a couple
Rocking
of
the
these
red
red
shirt.
shirts.
Oh, Randy's going to be the guest on Monday.
I like sleeveless shirts.
Who's guest?
Steve.
One of the things, just so happens, one of the actual parts of my body that I have ever been kind of like happy with as far as like physical appearance has always been my arms.
Oh.
Have you seen my beach ball? It's like this big around. Last time I saw it, it was over that way. You know,
So funny.
I got sunburned like crazy yesterday because I also bought some new tank tops. Because I'm down a shirt size, and that's super exciting. I might even be able to wear a 2X.
We're taking donations.
We are taking donations.
So when you're done with those clothes because they're too big and the new clothes are too big,
Yeah.
and you want to get rid of the new clothes, we have a men's section
'Cause
at
here was my-
Crosswalk of Hope. What do they call
Morning,
it? Is
Julie.
it a thrift store? What kind of store?
It's a free store.
Community store. Well, it's going to be free to those who need it to be free. It's going to be
Donation for most people. Like,
it's going to be actually a store where people can go and buy something. For those who want to go and buy something, and then it's going to be a place for those who want to contribute can buy something for a
Do you
donation.
have bookshelves?
It'll be all things, all men. We are going to. We
do
don't
you
yet.
have any bookshelves? Any smaller ones?
Not really. Well, maybe one.
I need
might
a
have
s-
one.
We can have a lot of bookshelves.
I'm going to be needing a bookshelf to put somewhere.
I know where you can get some. Probably pretty
Books?
cheap.
Yeah.
Shelves.
Shelves?
No, I can get you the books.
We already got great shelves. Dennis has.
Yeah, you bring in
Dennis
stacks
made
of books
some-
almost every time you come through.
Dennis
I
made
know,
some
every time.
amazing
Just every
shelves.
so often.
They're, beautiful.
Nice.
And books won't even.
Yeah.
These are made to hold whatever you put on them.
Yeah.
If it'll fit on it, it'll hold it.
Likey.
And they're beautiful. What an amazing man. Man, I look around Crosswalk and I see the things that he built. And this man, I don't know where he came from and if he was doing this artistic stuff before he became a Christian. But to have that skill and then to say, Lord, this is for you and this is yours, you can really see that in it. You know,
Yeah.
you can see that if I could give God anything, I would like to give him something so creative of myself. He's such a great God, and what a creator we have who gave us such amazing, and then instilled us to create and to make things.
Right?
You know, he made some shelves that they have. I can't even describe it. Really, there needs to be a tour.
You see that
we need to
plant
get Becky to give a tour.
See that
Oh,
plant
yeah,
stand
sure.
back there?
Yeah.
Lift that up, and you can see Dennis actually built that.
This is.
Yes, and that is
Oh, yeah, cool.
Okay, so you
can't see it.
Now you can't really see it, but you should see, Matt.
It's
you
built.
would. You should see some of the art this guy did. That is useful, purposeful stuff.
Film a little tour. And then
Yeah,
it can be available.
I got to get
and
Becky
show
to do it. Yeah. Not just introduce crosswalk and what we're doing, but to show
Yeah.
the legacy of what this man gave to God. of
Maybe
himself.
more
It's
than just
beautiful.
one. Maybe a little series.
Yeah, that would be so good. Yeah.
Yeah, then a lot of his stuff.
And then we have Mike Haas. Wait till you see what he's doing there.
Yeah, he's building me a chair,
Every day he's building something new, and it's awesome. It's useful.
which you
purposeful.
arranged for me to get. And it's a big chair for me to sit down whenever I'm barbecuing,
Yep.
and it's one of those big like.
It's going to
almost-
have some surprises just for you.
It's almost like the those old beach chairs, those big beach chairs where they kind of lean back a little bit,
Yeah.
and the arms are like no,
He's beefing it up, too, for you.
good. It
Yep.
needs to. Well, I mean, by the time he gets
Well,
it
he's
done,
a big guy, too.
by the time he gets done, I'll hopefully be down to like 250
Maybe,
pounds.
hey, maybe it'll be two-seater.
Yeah, maybe so. I mean, it looks like
That's why I got into mechanics rather than woodworking, because I can't make anything work.
Have you seen his stuff? Have you
Only
actually
a
been-
little bit. No.
It blows you away. It's really something.
I like his folk art deco type stuff that he did. Like with the half door, with the shelf in front of it. You know what I'm talking about? Like an old door or something, and he turns that into like a backsplash for a shelf or something.
Yes. He has some stuff that he never finished, and I don't know that he actually had a purpose for it, but it was ready to be made into something. You can clearly tell he had something in mind, but it's sitting there unfinished, and just in its current state, unfinished, where you can't really see a purpose, see what he was actually doing with it. By itself, it's worth having just to see.
Yeah.
Jonathan Kretzman, I think that might have been your device. You said you had some dead air at the airtime at the beginning, and I don't.
I didn't notice anything.
No.
though.
What happens is whenever you click on it to watch it, it'll look like it's starting from the beginning.
Oh yeah, and then
it'll
it'll
boot
kind
and then
of jump.
Kick you. Yeah. So sometimes that seems like dead air.
Yeah,
Um,
I've seen that before, where I'd lose the connection and I connect again and it go back to the beginning and then jump to the.
So,
where it was,
and I got to get the details from Steve on Mickey Mac, but I think we have our first, it's an official sponsor of the show,
Good.
Steamy Joe.
Awesome.
I need to get, and that's for 1 month. I need to get the details on that from you after the show today, Steve. So we can start. I mean, I can't have any other food now.
We got to go. Oh, right.
I mean, I could go there and I could have an omelet, a 3-egg omelet.
There you go. They make those?
I like
Yeah,
eggs.
I'm sure they do. If
Why
not, I'll
not?
just bring my own stuff and cook it right there at the table.
Yeah. Or you can
Eat
tell them what
hot
you
plate.
can and can't eat, and they'll probably come up with something.
Yeah.
They seem very creative.
That's and I on this health and wellness program, like there's stuff that I never I'm cooking things that I never really thought that I mean, who thought about heating up?
Your appetite wouldn't bring you to it.
No, well, yeah, and hunger is a really good sauce and seasoning.
Yeah.
But I'm not really hungry. By the time I get to my 5th meal, I'm like, oh man, I'm not even hungry. But I have to.
He's
eat
learning new things.
Yes,
I'm learning
he
new
is.
things. This isn't a diet. This is a health and wellness program that teaches you how to portion, and in doing so, like it also teaches you to, well, I mean, your body, you lose weight and everything. That's great, but the important part is you want to take the lesson of it is eat 6 times a day, small meals. Make sure they're healthy.
Yeah.
If you have your vitamins and your protein and all the.
How does it work if you eat 5 times or 4? Because of your time or your appetite.
Well, I force myself to eat if I'm up enough to eat.
But
6
that
times.
would be off the program, right? Would it not be as effective if you did that, say 2 or 3 days? Because you lost weight so quickly, your skin really just fired right up and came out beautifully, and was significantly different, enough to just look at you and see a difference in your skin and your face. So with something like that,
Well, and you can see health too. You don't see someone
can it diminish just as quick if you're off it a little bit?
wasting away.
I
or
haven't
something.
found. Of course, I really haven't been off of it. I have went
Right.
those times where I wasn't up enough enough hours to eat 6 times.
Right.
So basically, what it is you eat every 3 hours.
Yeah.
And the one meal you're supposed to make yourself, don't make it the first meal, don't make it the last meal of the day. So I always try to have it as my second or third meal. So that way, because I mean, you can eat one of the meal bars and go right to bed because it's not much to it. I mean, it's
Yeah.
a little meal bar. So you're not
What
sitting
an
there.
interesting thing.
Oh,
because
yeah.
watching you go through this is such an honor because, okay, so you have gone onto this diet. You went all in. Great excitement. You're doing great. All of a sudden, you're losing weight. Your skin looks great. Your eyes look great.
I feel better.
You feel better. You're
Mentally.
not always tired
Look
on
at-
the show.
The skin smells good.
Yeah. Your skin smells good and unique. You have that unique smelling skin.
We could have.
Reference to yesterday's show.
down.
Oh man, that's
So,
funny.
but and you're not complaining or missing anything.
No.
Like you don't seem to be like, oh man, I
Now
So you have to have
I-
Mike on the show sometime and talk about how that,
I almost
how that
had
works and-
a weak moment last night with the Veterans Church. Dad always brings pizza in,
right.
and he brought in a pizza,
Mm.
and I have to say the smell of it was absolutely amazing.
But
But I got,
almost means you didn't.
I didn't. No. I did have I ate a little piece of pepperoni.
Would you say the diet is so well designed that it's
I would say-
empowering you not
Yes.
to do it?
Absolutely.
Or would you say that is so? Is that coming from you, or is the diet? Because
Well, Mike was saying that by doing it like every 3 hours, you get 20 to 30% of your nutrition, and it speeds up your metabolism because your body can't process the big meals,
right,
but it can process 20, 30% each time. So
Yeah.
by doing it that way, you're working with your body's metabolism.
What you're doing when you're eating 3 big meals, it processes all it needs at that moment, and then
Yeah.
stores the rest.
seems like it's made your mind clearer.
Oh,
You
absolutely.
can still see the ADHD. When you're ADHD,
Oh, yeah.
you're doing that even better than ever before too.
Yeah. Am I?
Yeah, but like watching you work with him on this whole deal here, you're doing it so much clearer. It seems to be.
Not so scattered.
If I was to say, I would have to say I have never seen in my life somebody have such great results so quickly
Yeah.
on
Very
any,
quick, yeah.
and for it to actually be a lifestyle change and not a diet,
Yeah.
and for it to be so, what is that, universally beneficial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, holistic. you
my
know,
body
whole-
doesn't.
Yeah.
My body doesn't
Right.
need as much sleep, at all. I'm and this, and folks, you may be people watching this. You might be skeptical
Don't
about
be.
this. Okay, this, and I always am skeptical too. But Mike and Heidi,
Get a
his
hold
wife-
of Mike and Heidi though.
or get a hold of me, and I can do
yeah.
a 3-way call with
Yeah.
you, and introduce you to my health and wellness coach, Mike Krimper, who because God moved his heart to help me get on this because he wants a lifestyle change for me as well.
Yeah.
He wants me to be healthy. So, and God wants us to be healthy.
Yeah.
People
yeah.
are like, oh, 20 pounds. 20 pounds in 2 weeks, that's too much. I'm
Don't
like,
you think, in fact, this will be cheaper than what your diet was before? Too?
Yeah.
In the actual dollars and cents wise.
Yeah.
Because you were going to fast
Fast
food
food
places.
restaurants, yeah.
You were going to the
you'd spend 10 to 15 bucks.
convenience stores.
Yeah.
That was your diet.
And I don't need as many energy drinks.
Yeah.
So that's another cost that is cut.
So you're finding you have excess money that it's coming from nowhere.
Well, I'm keeping it
Yeah.
because I know
Excess money. What's that?
I know that you basically pay about the same amount as you would pay for food for a month for one person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Only you're
depending on
getting-
if you've got a family, you're not going to spend that much money on each person. in your
that
family.
was one key to getting you started, was that he offered to do the
To help
first
me out,
month.
yeah.
So that's a big step that
Yeah.
maybe wouldn't have been taken if it had to come out of, because the skeptical part is also, how do I
Cost. Yeah,
yeah, and how do I
there's
change
people-
it? You're paying up front for the stuff in
Yes.
a way.
Yeah, and it's an auto ship. I need to. Oh yeah, Mike, remind me. And it's the same for women. That's what Mike says. And remind me, Mike. I need to call you and talk to you. I need to figure out how to change the order because I want to take some things off of the next one and add something else.
What
in
about
its
somebody who
place.
doesn't need to lose weight?
It still helps.
Still helps,
Absolutely,
you know.
absolutely. Because
So-
you're getting probiotics. Each meal
So
bar.
it's not even really a weight loss program.
No, it's a health and wellness
Health-
program.
health and
It's
wellness.
not a diet. It's a health and wellness program.
And that kind of goes into the whole idea of learning new things and stretching ourselves, because it's so easy to fall into a routine and to do things and to do a little bit and not really go that extra mile.
And that goes
Yeah.
right
You know,
along
and
with our
and-
title
and-
for today,
And that's
too.
what I'm trying to push myself a little bit more too, and just saying, hey, there is a little more I can do. Like, I'll find time to watch some show I want to watch. Why can't I watch a video on learning how to, do some of this stuff?
Yeah.
Why can't I take
I mean, I'll
that
admit,
time?
it can be really confusing, but you got these books and stuff that come with the program, and you've also got access to your health and wellness coach 24/7.
Access.
And
That's another key.
encouraging
Communication, yeah.
support
Accountability.
groups.
Well, one of my reservations about eating more healthy is one, expense, and then accessibility. Am I going to have to find new places to shop? Am I going to have to do this and this? But online is already a source that I'm using for a lot of things.
Right.
So it could just be a very easy
And there's-
addition to what I already do online.
And there's dining out. There's a dining out guide that Mike told me to download right away. And it was about what restaurants you can eat at and what they
What to
have that
get.
you can eat for your, we call it the lean green meal, and that's basically you have your protein and your vegetables, and whenever you're eating such small amounts, everything tastes great. By the time you get to that, I mean the meal bars, the fuelings, that's what they call them, the fuelings, are absolutely delicious. The ones that I have, the ones that Mike set me up with on this first month, most of them are like almost like Rice Krispie treats.
What's
They're
the
so
expense?
amazing.
Can I do this at my weight and my need for food? Can I manage to do this on a smaller scale for 150 a month? My food
I don't
expense
know.
right now is about 150.
I'm
a
still
month.
really new into this, so I could set you up to talk to Mike Krimper about it.
Yeah.
Like
I'd like to have that. I want my skin to look better like yours does. I want my eyes
I didn't
to be
even notice
clearer.
the skin.
I want my thoughts to be clearer and more concise and direct and effective, which I see in you now. And I don't want to lose weight, but I want my body to be more healthy because, I have some atrophy, even though you wouldn't guess that by looking at me because I have an athletic build, but I'm not doing athletic things. So when the need for that comes, then my body doesn't respond well. I end
Right.
up with torn muscles and ligaments and stuff like that.
And this, I'm consuming, what did you say, Mike, around 300 grams of protein a day. So I may not be losing as much weight as I was in the very, very first few days,
Yeah,
but I'm losing inches. And I can definitely tell.
clearly.
And you're right. My mental clarity is better. And this is because I'm learning new things. I'm learning how to eat healthier. I always thought, 6 times a day, that's
And the
not for me.
product's accessible. You don't have to say, "Oh, is my shipment going to come in on time?" And
Yeah,
then-
no, that's exactly where it's at because they send as soon as it ships, and it usually ships a week before you need it.
right.
To be clear, it's the program I am on is the 5-in-1, which is
So there's different.
you order five meals worth of food a day basically for a month, and then you're required to make your own lean green meal. So what this is it's training me, not just I'm losing weight and I'm getting healthier, but it's also slowly training me via having to do it.
What you're
how
looking
to
for when you do
weigh out
go.
your food, pay attention to what you're picking up in the grocery store. These things are important. I've been trying to eat organic food. Like when I make my meals and stuff, sometimes that's really hard because organic food is kind of pricey. But
it's accessible,
it's accessible.
and you're eating less of it, so it's not really more expensive.
My stomach has shrank so much, I can't eat. Like whenever I make a lean green meal, I can't eat I have to force myself to eat. I can't. My stomach is like, no, you're done. I'm good, and I feel full after just like 6 or 7 bites of this stuff.
And how do people get a hold of him?
They can hit me up on Facebook, and I'll put them in touch. But,
Which they're watching you right now on Facebook, right?
yeah, my health and wellness coach,
Yeah, Matt's easy to find.
Matt Pearson, is that how they find you? What's your Facebook title?
Matt Pearson,
Matt
Pastor
Pearson. Pastor Matt. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I say look it up. I'm coming in to this. I'm thinking
Well,
if I can
the
do it for
results are right in front of you.
$150 a month, and I don't mean somebody else paying the rest. I mean, if
No.
if my expense could be that low, because you said you're on the 5 thing, maybe I can
Yeah,
be
I
on
don't
a
know
different
what
one.
I don't know what they all are, but and I haven't mentioned the name of it because we don't get permission to mention the name, but I can.
Temperament-wise, too.
Yeah,
It's really
somebody told me
having-
last night my countenance is different.
It is very.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's a gentleman that has known us for years,
Yeah.
Used to go to Midtown Recovery all the time.
Mm-hmm.
He drives that maroon van, or no, is it a maroon van? Oh, but he comes up here to the Veterans Show, the Veterans Church, not the Veterans Show.
Veteran show.
Yeah, boy, Leo would have my head for that one. Love you, Leo. Love you,
It's a
Leo.
show and dance.
Yeah. Oh no.
Mike Kramper says getting
Veterans
100% of
Church.
your nutrition heals the body. Programs for weight gain, maintain weight, or lose weight. Different programs for different people.
I need to talk to you.
Yeah,
I
well,
really do.
I know the guys.
Because
So.
I'm in a position where I could start it and do the upfront thing, and then if it fits within my budget, it wouldn't matter when I spend it. So if I buy the whole month at the beginning of the month, it wouldn't make a difference as far as my expense goes. When I pay it doesn't matter.
But speaking of which, okay, so if you like this program, I mean, we like to bring you current events and new things. I mean, the reason we're talking about this is not only because I'm super excited about it, because I feel so much better, and I want other people to feel this way. The feeling of, because, I used to get up, and I just like, oh, God, I'm so fat. I feel like crap. Oh, I got a headache. Because, I mean, whenever you eat half of a half gallon of ice cream before you go to bed, you're going to wake up, first of all, feeling starved because your body overproduces insulin while you sleep.
Yeah.
And it's got to break that down before it can even rest,
See, I do that.
But and then also so much sodium and just a lack of
Did
nutrients.
you ever have where you just run out of juice and you feel all shaky and
Yes.
you're not feeling good? It's suddenly and you're kind of caught
I
off
haven't
guard
had
by
that.
it.
I haven't had that since I started this program.
And is that something you can eliminate from? You know what I mean? As long as you maintain this diet.
Yeah.
If you have a spot where maybe you can't eat exactly as you should for like a day or like an afternoon or whatever, are you still? You know what I mean?
I've messed up and forgot to bring my meals with me, the fuelings, and they're very portable. So I had left them.
But when
at
you
the
forgot
house.
it, did you run out like I do? Did you run
No.
out of juice and feel
No.
really bad?
I did have an empty stomach, feeling of an empty stomach, that little bit of a tense feeling in the gut there, but I didn't get the shakes like I did before.
You need to do before and after photos.
Yeah. Well, I got plenty of before photos.
Do you?
On this, I do need to do some after photos. I'm gonna
Before, during, and after.
Progress photos.
I should start doing every week.
What should we call it? What is it called? Life change? What is it called? Life change. Life
Health and
health and wellness.
wellness program. Is that right?
Health and wellness. Progress photo.
Progress report.
Progress portfolio. Yeah.
Yep.
Isn't that
Sorry.
cool? What a cool thing that you can actually get help that would change your life so much.
I just, I wish I would have found this years ago.
Yeah.
Because, when I was in my early 20s, I lost weight and was more, I probably wasn't, I feel better now than I did even when I was in my 20s as far as like mental clarity and physical just well-being. But of course, back then I was working at a sawmill.
And then you're
115
naturally
degrees.
more physically active too?
Yeah. And
See, my mother and her friends struggled with this my whole childhood.
I have, all right, so when I was younger, I was on Ritalin.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Ritalin curbs your appetite. When I got here at 11 years old, I was 4'9" and I weighed 95 pounds, and you could count my ribs.
Oh,
And I still didn't like going shirtless because I thought, I hope I'm not fat. I don't know where that came from. That's a psychological issue.
It's called a not an eating disorder, body dysphoric, or body.
Lean and green progress is what Donna Kilmurray says it should be called. Physician-led health and wellness program.
Physician-led health and wellness. Yeah,
That's what this is.
health and wellness, because the wellness really describes the change in your countenance and your eye clarity, your
Praise
thought
God.
process clarity, and all that change.
I mean, praise
And
God.
then the health, because your body is just coming together.
I know the doctor that designed this
Yeah.
program is probably making tons of money off of it.
And
But
imagine the
good.
feeling of doing such good for somebody.
yeah,
you should.
and he does it because he wants people to be healthy. I'm telling you, in these little fuelings, you've got probiotics, you've got vitamins and minerals, and all the nutrients that your body needs in a small meal.
Yeah.
you know, and I don't know. My body's balancing itself out, and that's where the change is coming in.
You could see the difference also in your clarity and your decisiveness and all that, like through the process of our what was that called? So I'm amazed, really, and I
He
think
needs a little more clarity. He forgot
over
what it-
time
Yeah.
it'll be nice to see how it all
Telethon,
levels
probably.
off and where that goes because I'm interested. And
Me too.
what about you? What are you learning? You're learning to do this,
Yeah.
and
teaching you.
what's the point?
of learning it.
Yeah.
Just trying to help out more.
If I need a day
with
off
Acts.
someday,
I believe in the time that we're moving into that places like Acts Ministry are really important for the
Yeah.
21st century church. And, I find that I'm willing to do stuff and learn things, but I don't put a lot into it. I do it on my time, when I want, And so sometimes it'll look like I'm doing a lot, but maybe I'm not. I could do more.
Well, I
I-
appreciate you. I think you're doing a
I,
good
Yeah.
job.
I take
you do a lot
Yeah.
outside of the office,
yeah.
like at
It's-
your house. I mean, you're the one that posts all the videos on our website, right?
Mhm.
You do all that, and then you title them and all that stuff, and then when you know the tags, you tag them. So yeah, that's very much appreciated. And
Well-
you're a board member.
Well, yeah, but see, then I find ways to cop out. See, so then I'll say something like, "Hey, hey, could you send me what the show was so I can put the tag in?" And then maybe I'll mention that once or something, and then you don't do it, so then I can go, okay, I don't have to worry about putting the tags in, or
Right,
something like
right.
that,
Yeah.
And it's like it's amazing how easy I find to cop out sometimes. Put something on somebody else, and then they didn't follow through, so and I wonder, how much some of us do that in our lives, so we just kind of, well, it's not my fault. It's
Yeah.
someone else's. I mentioned it to them once. Well, when they do this, I mean, how many people use that as an excuse? When someone else does it, then I'll, make that step.
You know what excites me and makes me happy is when I sit in this room right now and we talk about these things, the real world around us, not current events that are around the world outside of our own little world. When I see this little world and see what's happening in it, I'm
And the-
encouraged and not afraid.
And the change that we're helping, God's using us to help change people's lives.
Yeah,
Maybe not tons of them at a time, but we've seen a couple.
yeah.
At least one I got to witness that person receive Jesus
That's beautiful.
as their Lord and Savior.
That's what we're here for.
And if we don't save another soul from the start, from when we started, if we don't save them. But if God, if we don't see that, if one person takes what we talk about and is introduced to Christ and gives their heart to God, if just one person does that, from the day we started this till the day we die is all worth it. If there's only one, they're still worth it. Because I believe if Jesus knew that all of mankind would reject him and reject his sacrifice, but one person, he would have still went on that cross.
Let me try to be poetic. When the wake left behind by our life washes those people to that beautiful shore against the tide that we see, dragging people out to sea, then we've done our job.
Yep.
Yeah. Go forth, make disciples of all nations. That's what Jesus told us to do. Sorry, I'm reading a.
Oh yeah. Well, and it's big. I mean, there's a lot that's happening through Acts Ministry and
Thank you,
Acts
Julie.
Church
That's a
and
really nice compliment.
the media stuff and everything, and I'm just encouraged and want to see more.
Stacy, I get you. I still don't. I still don't swim. I won't swim without a shirt on. I've always been bashful, though.
I don't either. I think I believe in modesty in those conditions, though.
That's one thing myself and or my ex-wife and I can agree on. Modesty is ministry.
I have a bad tendency to be to make bad judgments based on what my eyes are telling me and what I want to see, and then I end up making really bad decisions and bad judgment. So I'm learning more and more to do this. I'm not great at it though. It's difficult.
I get it.
Walk by faith, not by sight.
Yeah, I'd rather be alone than to get drawn into something that's providing me such a shallow interest and drive.
I'm just I'm thankful that I'm thankful that God put Jim and I in a position to be able to do this here. Jim was at Dr. Paul's house and said, "Hey, how'd you like to take over that radio? Help us out with the radio."
Yeah.
And that's the start of the journey with Acts Ministry. I mean, not the start of my
5 years
personal
ago,
journey.
on
Because
July 7th.
July 7th, 5 years we've been doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Not on
Long
the
time.
about 2 years. Oh, coming up a year and a half. I can't remember, Jim, if you're watching. So I was going to touch base on just somebody said something, and my brain just kind of left me there for a second. So much for mental clarity, right?
ADD
So what are you
still
learning?
exists.
What are you learning today? Okay, I'll tell you what. I had, whenever I was in school, in junior high, I had a teacher, and she would have us every day. When we got there, we'd have to write down, even just one sentence, what did you learn yesterday? Just in general, what did you learn? Did you learn something new? We're always learning new stuff. I think she said, if your brain doesn't learn something, then you're dead.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I didn't know that. Good.
See,
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely understand where you're coming from, Stacy. Mental image, the way we look at ourselves, and it affects our self-esteem. And another thing that I learned, I no longer have the indentions on my legs where my legs were swelling.
Oh, yeah.
And the
yeah.
socks were cutting into
Yeah,
it.
you mentioned that yesterday.
Did I mention that yesterday?
Well, maybe not on the air, though. Maybe that was after
now listen.
or before or something.
One of the ways, the best way that you can help us out here at Acts
Yes, thank you.
isn't to contribute more money, though. If you're capable and if you find that this is maybe a better place to spend the
Although
money that
money
you
is
have
needed.
to give, we would like you to give to Acts Ministry, and it's easy to do. But you go to your web browser, you put in on the address site. So if you're searching Google Chrome, Google search, you go up to the web address and you put in actsmediagroup.com, and in there, in the drop-down menu, you can have donations. You can make donations. Go to that and make a donation. If you can do that, if even $1 a month, we would be so grateful, and we can produce much more of what you're seeing here. Our desire is to have
I'd
a
love to
network.
see a lot of small monthly ones, a lot of $1,
me too.
$2.
I'd love to see, around the clock network that's producing live shows that are always there for anybody to see anytime they want. The best way,
There's a bunch of them on there.
besides the $1 donation, the best way that you can go while you're on here live, if you do that share, push that share button
Yep.
next to the text. I want you to do that now just to get the idea of how. So when I click on this little share right here, it brings up a list of the people I know. If you know somebody that the content of this very show that you're watching live would benefit, or it would interest them, or they have maybe some knowledge that they could contribute to us, click on their name and share it with them specifically. Because what we really need is not for you to break your bank to help us so we can do better. What we need is to have 10 times the amount of viewers that we have now.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. We are in need of the partnership of you
Yes.
to help us out. Not just the funding, like you said, but funding is a part. It does cost money to do what we do.
Well, because we are getting funding from
Yeah.
the viewers that we have who are so dedicated.
And
tune
that's
in
the good
every day.
Facebook way. And then on YouTube, subscribing
Yes.
is really good.
like and subscribe.
And even if you don't watch us on YouTube, go to YouTube, subscribe,
Yeah,
turn off
please.
notifications if you
and
want.
check it out because we got playlists for all the shows, and then there's also some
There's other
topical
stuff-
in there.
there's
and
other stuff
it's
you
easy
put
to
on there.
navigate. Yeah.
there's stuff that you have those little 5-minute messages on there.
Yeah.
Yep.
But those are actually from your church that you pastor in Humansville.
Yep. Yeah, I put them like there'll be topical issues and stuff.
I
like that.
still haven't made it out there to play music for your church.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
You'll have
you
to. We haven't been open for a while, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
when
Oh,
we
you
open
haven't opened
again-
up yet?
No.
No. When are you going to open it back up?
I don't know.
No.
Eventually.
Is it up to the board?
And is that are you the pastor?
Yeah, I'm the preacher there.
The preacher,
Yeah, I'm not much of a pastor, but
No.
I don't have a pastor's heart. But but I preach there.
I don't even know what that means, really.
Yeah.
See,
Well,
I'm
if you
supposed to
meet
be a
if
minister
you
at
meet somebody
Crosswalk,
with
and
a
I don't even
pastor's
know what
heart,
that
then you'll
means,
know
really.
what it means.
Pastor is leading
Yeah.
the people.
Well, they're a shepherd. They're
Yeah.
kind of like a father. In
Yeah.
a sense.
Well, there's a reason why
family.
they're called, in certain.
Yeah, maybe that's
sects.
why they call priests fathers.
Yeah.
Or something.
Father, yeah.
Yeah.
They're kind of like that. A leader. That kind
Well,
of. a thing.
are you a bishop?
Yeah.
You're
yeah.
a bishop.
Yeah.
Jim's a bishop. I might be a bishop someday. I don't know.
But
That's
yeah,
probably
but my
the way it is.
giftings and my temperament and all those types of things is really not that.
Your gifting,
pastoral.
yeah, well, I would say, preaching. Your gifting is in preaching. You do have a gifting in preaching.
Yeah.
'Cause I've seen you go up and say, "Hey, just got a couple things to talk about," and then boom, you're hooting
All
and
into
hollering
it.
from up there on the platform. I don't like to call
I
it a
haven't
stage.
seen them yet. I'm sorry to say, and I know that's disappointing, but
Steve
I
O'Mickey
see them
Mac.
on there, but I haven't really watched one.
All right, so Stacy says, I have learned different stuff every day about my car and other things that they are saying what is going on in our country. So, yeah, continue. All right, so I'm sorry. I digress.
And that's what we want to get away from. We want to get away from that. Of course, we want to be up on current events, and we
Yeah.
want to discuss them openly and all that. And we were brought into that when we went through the COVID thing, and now the rioting and looting, which is really what we were against. The demonstrations where people were saying something needs to change. I am all in on that, and I agree.
Yeah.
I've wanted to go out and do it myself.
Yeah.
But I also didn't want to be caught up and be a part of somebody who's destroying somebody else's
Right, absolutely.
life
Yeah.
and it's something that they
Or going to extremes. Okay, well, we don't need any police anymore. We don't,
That's,
that's,
yeah.
look,
What
that's
good is
that's a
defunding
lie.
the police?
Yeah, that's
That's just people trying to disarm, and get rid of the protection of the people of the
that's
country.
people who want that's you know
That's
what that
people
is.
who want to reign.
The pirates want that.
Yes,
the people
absolutely.
who want to rape and pillage, take what they want and give nothing back. Are the people who want that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or the people who are so naive because our police force and our military have done such a good job. We feel pretty safe, like we don't need that.
well,
right?
they see the few bad ones and they think they're all like that.
Right.
Which is a lie.
Which is a lie.
The police officer who made a video on YouTube that I watched of in New York, he said 174 million or something like that contacts in. I don't know if it was that
Positive
this
contacts.
year so far. I think is what he was saying. Are overwhelmingly out of 174 million contacts with the police. How many of those are negative that made it to YouTube and blew up?
Yeah.
Not very many. When
Yeah.
you're talking about 174 million, you can't even count that. Positive. Now, here's the thing about that. Positive contacts with the police. What a contact with the police means is that there was a problem, an issue that needed policing.
Yep.
So, police in New York City went to 174 situations where they were
Million.
needed. Somebody
174
said,
million.
Yeah.
I need the police. The police made contact.
Well, when I
Or-
talked to Teo about it, he's in Africa now, but he lived in the United States for about 10 years, and he's a black man. And he said all the encounters he had with the police were positive. There was only one that he had an issue with, and it was because the guy had seen a video of a black man stealing something, and Teo was one of the only black men in the area. And he saw the video, and it did kind of look like me. And so, but the guy kept saying, that he did it, and he's like, no, I didn't,
Right.
And so he only had one negative encounter with the police that he ran into when he was in the United States. Now that's just his, encounters and stuff. But
And that's so far.
and he was often in areas that were primarily
wow.
white.
yeah.
We're out of time, fellas.
We're out of time.
Man, this hour flew by. Like
You can support us and we can have more time. That's what we want to do is get more on the
AxeMediaGroup.com.
air.
You don't need PayPal to support us. Go to AxeMediaGroup.com. Type that in your web browser.
Yeah.
And
Not through your social media.
No.
But go to your web browser and put it in the address.
Yep, absolutely. And you scroll down, and on the right, there's a big PayPal button and debit, credit. If you have PayPal, it'll go PayPal. If you even $1 would help us out. But I mean, if we also would like for you, if you can have it taken out one time, or you can have it taken out monthly.
Yep.
And you can become a monthly partner with us, and you'll still get to see like the more finances free up time and availability, the more you're going to see us grow, the more the hours of operation are going to be, and the amount of shows is going to increase
Where you can
as well.
avoid all the propaganda that is bringing us in the wrong direction as a nation and as a world. And you can come here and get the kind of propaganda that's going to change us for the better and bring us to closer to God. And you can help us do that too. We appreciate all of you people.
I'm glad to say I was one of the first ones to start doing that monthly.
Yeah.
And I've been doing $5 a month since way back in the beginning.
Wow,
I
what an
increased.
amazing
I increased mine a couple years ago.
I need to get mine started. I haven't done it yet.
I mean, I can walk you right through that.
Yeah, I have to see. I've got so many goals at Crosswalk that are cost, and I want to make sure I have that available. So I don't want to overcommit and then say, ooh,
Yeah. Well,
I do have a place where I'm committed right now that needs whatever I can put into it. So
God does love a cheerful giver. I'm not saying to give to us so that you'll get from God. That's not the proper heart of giving. I'm saying, do whatever it is that God is moving you to do.
Mm-hmm.
If all you want to do is just like and share this on your timeline, if that's all you can do, great. Just keep us in your prayers as well.
we ought to come up with an Amazon wish list where some piece of equipment or something that would benefit us and really bring us into next level, second studio. We ought to go with the Amazon wish list because we can make our wish list public, and people can, instead of saying, oh, here's money, do what you want with it, and say, oh, well, where did that money go? You can go to our Amazon wish list, say, I want to see a second studio that switches over and don't have people running around, that they can do it from one seat and just cut to another studio. That's what we'd like to do. If we built an Amazon
we had a
wish
video
list,
switcher.
people could
We could do that.
support us that way by saying, oh, they need this. I want to see this done better and more seamlessly.
Right.
I'd like to see this so they can grow and add shows and a new studio. We could put that wish list out there. People could contribute by saying, I want to buy this piece of equipment for you.
Well, I will say it's time for us to get out of here.
It is.
And I would say unfortunately, but yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
whoa,
We had a video
What happened?
switcher.
People could
We could do that.
support us
Sorry.
that way by saying,
Whoa, hey. Okay, we got it, Jay. We got it.
I
Yeah,
apologize
yeah.
for that. I apologize. So let me go ahead and mute this so we can start our outro music. Now be sure and tune in next for the Morning Mouth with Johnny Rooster and Pastor Matt.
Rooster.
I need to,
It's
there
a
we go.
knee slapping good time.
So there we go. There we go. Got it figured out.
I don't know if I should slap my knee or not.
Don't do that because it's a new knee. Don't do that.
yeah.
So I'd like to thank you, everybody, for joining us on the morning drive today. We'll be back on Monday, same time, same channel. Steve-O Mickey Mac will be back in that chair, and he'll be sitting on a pillow. So be sure and tune in next for The Morning Mouth with Johnny Rooster and myself, Pastor Matt. And then after that, followed by Dr. Paul Collins and his wife, Nancy, with The Happy Hour.
Happy.
Thanks for being with us today, Dennis.
Thank you for your support.
Jay, it's always good to see you.
It's always good to be
And
here.
thank you. So until then, my friends, God bless you and keep you. We love you. My name is Matt.
My name is Jay.
My name's Dennis.
And this has been The Morning
Morning Drive.